All right, guys. Sorry it's been a minute. I've been busy. So last time that we were trying to work on this project, which is the gun case for my buddy. At the end of the video, I had to cut the video short because my planer decided it wanted to stop working. Well, I figured out what it was, and about a week ago. But I've just been too busy dealing with the kids and stuff to come out here and give you guys a really in-depth of what was going on with this machine. And I do have to say, I am using a Bauer Harbor Freight machine. Um, it has done me good up until this point. We built one or two other projects with it. But I am a cheapskate and don't want to go and buy a new one, a brand new one, when I literally just got this machine a month and a half ago. So I figured out what it was, and it is 100% my fault. It's not on the machine. It's my fault, my doing. I should have been using something to cut these boards in half, and then plane them that way. That's how I normally do it. But here's the thing. Yours truly decided that he wanted to have a little bit of an accident with his fingers back on June 12th. My wife and I, we were building a Martin house for her dad for Father's Day. And, well, I had a small piece. I actually think that I still have a piece from it over here. Okay, this is cut through with a table saw. This is what I was doing. I was taking a regular 2x, this big, running it through, trying to split it. And then we were planing him down. I had to split, I think, 4 of them. And on the third one, I noticed that it was starting to kick back a little bit. So, not only is this going to be an update on the gun case project, but this is also going to be a learn from my mistake, because not the greatest of ideas. And anybody that does woodworking, we all like to think that we're being safe and that things aren't going to happen to us. Well, here's the cold truth of that. Things can happen. So you gotta stay on your toes before you lose a finger. And I got really lucky. Did not end up going to the hospital. We all thought that maybe I would end up having to. But so I had, how was that going? I had the material like this. I know they're not from the same board, but for demonstration purposes, imagine that they are. So I'm running it through the saw like this. I had my push stick, and I was pushing on this piece, and I was just, that's how things are. I was just bracing it with my fingers on top of it like that, and my thumb barely on the back like that. So the push stick was on this piece, and I had my fingers like this, running through the table saw. Well, table saw only goes through about halfway. I mean, on this piece, you can actually see at the maximum cut maximum that I was comfortable with where it would end up being, which is just a little over halfway. Well, I had the push stick on here. This side started kind of wobbling, like it was going to throw it, give me a kickback. And I did a rookie mistake. What I should have done is just let it go and let it go flying past me, because I already had my body to the side, in preparation in case a kickback happened. Well, kickback ended up happening. This board, because I barely had my thumb on it, ended up flying past me. And because I was putting downward pressure on it, my fingers just popped on the top of the blade. Just barely popped it. Now, mind you, at the speed that those blades are going, just barely popping it, it's still going to do a lot of damage. I do have to say it's healed up quite a bit, but there's still, if I were to take this board and drop it and try to catch it and my fingertips hit it wrong, it would hurt. Still, there's a lot of tenderness still in there, which I predict that's going to take a while to get over. But thank the Lord that I still have all 10 fingers, because these two fingers, my middle finger and my ring finger, both got hit. And yes, I'm wearing my wedding ring in my right hand. I've lost some weight, so it doesn't fit on my left hand anymore. And if I were to do this, it'd go flying. Right on behind the freezer at the moment. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull this out, get that back. Anyway, so in the meantime, because I am now actually afraid of the machine, I've only used it one time after the accident, and that was to finish up the Martin House project with both fingers bandaged up. So I had, limited mobility on this hand, and I was still trying to use it, and yeah, it's a little bit scary because now that you're like, oh man, that was close. So, with the custom gun case, I decided that I was just going to plane the boards down instead of splitting them in half. Yes, I was losing the ability to turn one board into two, but for the sake of safety and for the sake of not putting my hands near that machine again, which I will end up using it again, it's just going to take me some time to, psych myself back up to use it. And I plan on doing more woodworking, so I'm going to have to get over my fear that I now have of the machine. I mean, it's not the machine's fault, it was my fault. I need to live and learn from it, but anyone that has come close to losing a finger knows that when you get that close and you're sitting there, in hindsight, you're like, okay, if there's other things that I can use that are a little less dangerous, then maybe I should. So I was using the planer. And this is where it gets to where it was 100% my fault that the planer broke. So if we come over here, all right, so the rollers were not working. The blade would spin, but the rollers were not working. It would not feed it at all, so I thought that maybe there's something plugged up in there, or something jamming it up, or maybe one of the chains broke. So I ended up taking off the side shroud. And everything. Well, once I had these chains off, I still had the drive spindle, which is this one right here. And it makes all the other spindles rotate, which would rotate the rollers. Well, here's the thing. The front roller will now rotate freely. But this back roller is still jammed up. So I'm going to have to take the roller off, see what's jamming that up. But in the meantime, let me show you what actually went wrong. So I flipped it on once I had all the chains off, and this spindle should have been able to freely spin at the top speed because it had no resistance whatsoever, and it just casually made a slow circle. So at that point, I was wondering if it was something in here or if it was something in here. Well, if anyone knows anything about fixing stuff, you could take one part at a time. So I ended up taking this off. Let me set you guys up. Took this off. And there it is, right there. That is supposed to have teeth on it. If I rotate this gear, see, it barely catches it. Hardly catching it at all. Yeah, so that's the problem right there, or at least one of the problems. So yeah, there's the story of why there's not been a part 2 yet. I'm gonna get the part ordered, get that gear ordered, get that replaced out. I'm gonna take this roller off and just get a good look at it, see if it's bent, see if there's anything in there. So hopefully I'll be able to be back up and running here shortly. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want me to do a video on me actually replacing the part, let me know. I do know that there is not many of you subscribers that are subscribed to me, so hardly anybody has seen my videos yet, and that's fine. I mean, I think I've only been doing YouTube videos for about a month, so I'm not complaining. It is what it is. If things don't kick off, I mean, we'll try to figure something out, but here it is. This is an update on what's going on with the gun case. I know that video got, a couple of you guys subscribed to that, so, a couple of you guys wanted to see that format or that kind of content. Hopefully I'll be able to do some stuff here soon. Try to get this project done. Yeah, it's a work in progress, but work is work. See you guys later.